Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Mago and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs 6th meeting of Niti Aayog Governing Council, says Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign is a way to build an India that produces not only for its own needs but for the world also. Prime Minister calls for encouraging private sector involvement for Atmanirbhar Bharat, says energy of private sector has to be respected and given equal opportunity. Opening of bank account, increase in health facilities, free electricity and gas connections to empower the poor have made a change in their lives, says Prime Minister. Positive response to the budget has reflected the mood of the nation, says Prime Minister Modi. Finance Minister says Union budget goes beyond $5 trillion economy.
India and China discussed disengagement issue at the 10th round of Corps Commander level talks. 125 companies of Central Forces to be deployed in West Bengal in view of assembly elections. National COVID-19 recovery rate improved to 97.27%. More than 1 crore people vaccinated. 24-hour curfew imposed in 10 villages in Pandharpur in Maharashtra from midnight of Monday to contain COVID. And in Australian Open tennis, Naomi Osaka lifts the women's title, defeating Jennifer Brady. Men's final tomorrow will have Novak Djokovic in action against Daniil Medvedev.
As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today stressed that centre and states should work together and make cooperative federalism more meaningful. He also urged to bring competitive, cooperative federalism not only among states but also among districts. In his opening remarks at the 6th meeting of the Governing Council of Niti Aayog, Mr. Modi said India has made up its mind to progress rapidly and doesn't want to lose time. He said the positive response received for this year's budget has expressed the mood of the nation and the youth is playing a pivotal role in setting the mood.
इस वर्ष के बजट पर जिस तरह का एक पॉजिटिव रिस्पांस आया है, चारों तरफ से एक नई आशा का वातावरण पैदा हुआ है, उसने जता दिया है कि मूड ऑफ द नेशन क्या है। देश मन बना चुका है, देश तेजी से आगे बढ़ना चाहता है, देश अब समय नहीं गंवाना चाहता है और कुल मिलाकर के देश के मन को बनाने में देश का युवा मन बहुत बड़ी भूमिका अदा कर रहा है और तभी ये बदलाव के प्रति एक नया आकर्षण पैदा हुआ है।
Mr. Modi said the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign is the way to build an India that produces not only for its own needs but also for the world.
कैसे देश का प्राइवेट सेक्टर देश की इस विकास यात्रा में और ज्यादा उत्साह से आगे आ रहा है। सरकार के नाते हमें इस उत्साह का, प्राइवेट सेक्टर की ऊर्जा का सम्मान भी करना है और उसे आत्मनिर्भर भारत में उतना ही अवसर भी देना है। आत्मनिर्भर भारत एक ऐसे नए भारत की तरफ कदम है जहां हर व्यक्ति, हर संस्था, हर उद्यम को अपनी पूरी क्षमताओं से आगे बढ़ने का अवसर मिले। आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान एक ऐसे भारत का निर्माण का मार्ग है जो न केवल अपनी आवश्यकताओं के लिए बल्कि विश्व के लिए भी उत्पादन करे और ये उत्पादन विश्व श्रेष्ठता की कसौटी पर भी खरा उतरे। और इसलिए मैं हमेशा कहता हूं, जीरो डिफेक्ट, जीरो इफेक्ट।
The Prime Minister said the country's private sector is also coming forward with energy. He said that we have to respect the energy of the private sector and give it an equal opportunity. The Prime Minister said the fund allocated for infrastructure in the current budget is highly appreciated and it will generate employment for thousands. Mr. Modi said since 2014, over 2.4 crore houses have been built in rural and urban India. He said another innovative initiative is going on in which houses are being built with modern technology in 6 cities.
देश में अभी हर गरीब को पक्की छत देने का अभियान भी तेज गति से चल रहा है। कुछ राज्य बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, कुछ राज्यों को अपनी गति बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता भी है। 2014 के बाद से देखें तो गांवों और शहरों को मिलाकर 2 करोड़ 40 लाख से ज्यादा घरों का निर्माण पूरा किया गया है। देश के 6 शहरों में आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी से घरें बनाकर एक अभियान चल रहा है। एक आध महीने के भीतर भीतर नई टेक्नोलॉजी से तेजी से अच्छी क्वालिटी के मजबूत मकान बनाने की दिशा में देश के 6 शहरों में नए मॉडल तैयार होंगे। वो भी इस काम के लिए हर राज्य को उपयोगी होने वाला है।
Mr. Modi highlighted over 3.5 crore rural households have been connected with piped water connections.
देश में अभी हर गरीब को पक्की छत देने का अभियान भी तेज गति से चल रहा है। कुछ राज्य बहुत अच्छा पानी की कमी और प्रदूषित पानी से होने वाली बीमारी लोगों के विकास में बाधा न बने, कुपोषण की समस्याओं को वो बढ़ाए नहीं, इस दिशा में भी मिशन मोड में काम हो रहा है। जब जल जीवन मिशन शुरू होने के बाद से पिछले 18 महीनों में ही 3.5 करोड़ से भी अधिक ग्रामीण घरों को पाइप वाटर सप्लाई से जोड़ा जा चुका है। गांवों में इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी के लिए भारत नेट स्कीम एक बड़े बदलाव का माध्यम बन रही है। ऐसी सारी योजनाओं में जब केंद्र और राज्य सरकारें मिलकर काम करेगी तो काम की गति भी बढ़ेगी और अंतिम व्यक्ति तक उसका लाभ पहुंचना भी सुनिश्चित हो जाएगा।
The Prime Minister said the central government has introduced production-linked incentive PLI schemes for various sectors. He said this is an excellent opportunity to increase manufacturing in the country, and the states should also take full advantage of the scheme and attract more and more investment. He said policy framework and cooperation between centre and states is also very important. Mr. Modi said a holistic approach has been adopted over the years, from agriculture to animal husbandry to fisheries. He said as a result, the country's agricultural exports have increased significantly even during Corona. The Prime Minister said the ease of living and ease of doing business will go hand in hand.
युवाओं को अपना सामर्थ्य खुलकर दिखाने का भी हमें मौका देना होगा। कुछ महीना पहले ही कुछ महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय किए गए, उसकी चर्चा बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होती है, लेकिन इसका परिणाम बहुत बड़ा होता है। ओएसपी रेगुलेशंस को रिफॉर्म किया गया था। इससे युवाओं को कहीं से भी काम करने की फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मिली है। मैं अभी पिछले दिनों आईटी सेक्टर के लोगों से बात कर रहा था। मुझे कईयों ने बताया कि उनके 95% लोग अब घर से ही काम कर रहे हैं और उनका काम अच्छा चल रहा है। अब देखिए ये कितना बड़ा बदलाव आ रहा है। हमने इन चीजों पर बल देना होगा। हमें ऐसी जो बंदिशें हैं उन सारी बंदिशों को समाप्त करना चाहिए।
The Prime Minister said every state and every district in the country has a speciality and potential, and the government is shortlisting and value adding to these thousands of products hailing from different districts through marketing for exports. Mr. Modi highlighted in the past few years that opening of bank accounts, increase in vaccination and health facilities, free electricity connections, free gas connections to empower the poor have reflected a phenomenal change in their lives.
हमारे देश के गरीबों को एम्पावर करने की दिशा में बैंक खाते खुलने से, टीकाकरण बढ़ने से, स्वास्थ्य सुविधा बढ़ने से, मुफ्त बिजली कनेक्शन मिलने से, मुफ्त गैस कनेक्शन, मुफ्त शौचालय निर्माण की योजनाओं, उनके जीवन में, खास करके गरीबों के जीवन में एक अभूतपूर्व बदलाव नजर आ रहा है। देश में अभी हर गरीब को पक्की छत देने का अभियान भी तेज गति से चल रहा है। कुछ राज्य बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, कुछ राज्यों को अपनी गति बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता भी है।
The Prime Minister expressed happiness that during the COVID period, people saw how centre and states work together. Mr. Modi stressed that when India is going to complete 75 years of independence, this governing council meet becomes even more significant. The Prime Minister urged to focus on storage and processing of agricultural products to reduce wastage. He stressed on the need to export processed foods rather than raw foods to increase profits. Mr. Modi said, reforms are very important for our farmers to get the necessary economic resources, better infrastructure and modern technology.
कृषि अपार क्षमताओं से भरी है, लेकिन फिर भी कुछ सच्चाइयां हमें स्वीकार करनी होगी। हम कृषि प्रधान देश कहे जाएं, उसके बावजूद भी आज करीब 65-70 हजार करोड़ रुपए का खाद्य तेल हम बाहर से लाते हैं। ये हम बंद कर सकते हैं, हमारे किसानों के खाते में पैसा जा सकता है, लेकिन इसके लिए हमारी योजनाएं उस प्रकार से हमें बनानी होगी। और इसलिए इसके लिए जरूरी है कि सभी राज्य अपनी एग्रो क्लाइमेटिक रीजनल प्लानिंग उसकी स्ट्रेटेजी बनाएं, उसके हिसाब से किसान को मदद करें।
Later, briefing media after the meeting, Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Dr. Rajiv Kumar said the 6th Governing Council meeting came at a time where the nation is emerging from the challenges posed by COVID-19. He said the forum saw key decision makers charting out a way for the country to move forward. Dr. Kumar said national growth is dependent on the growth of states and union territories, for which we need to make a coherent effort. He said the 6th Governing Council meeting paved the way for intensive and meaningful dialogue to create a consensus-based agenda. The Niti Aayog Vice Chairman said at the meeting, 6 items were in focus: making India a manufacturing powerhouse, reimagining agriculture, improving physical infrastructure, accelerating human resource development, improving service delivery at grassroots level, and health and nutrition. He said India's fight against COVID-19 has seen a united front, which is a perfect example of cooperative federalism, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed the importance of moving forward in the same spirit as Team India. Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant termed today's meeting as constructive, adding that states appreciated the reform agenda, which has been accelerated by the centre. Our correspondent reports that states and union territories mentioned efforts made to improve water accessibility, supply of quality and reliable water, internet connectivity, quality healthcare services, sustainable agriculture practices to mitigate the risks of climate change, among other issues during the day-long meeting. The Governing Council meeting was attended by 26 Chief Ministers, 3 Lieutenant Governors and 2 administrators, apart from Union Ministers who are ex-officio members and special invitees. Niti Aayog Vice Chairman, members and CEO, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister and other senior officers from PMO, Cabinet Secretary and Chief Secretaries of States and Union Territories also attended the meeting. The meeting was moderated by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that the Union Budget 2021 goes beyond $5 trillion economy. Speaking at a function in Chennai, the minister said that OPEC has to decide on the prices of petrol and diesel around the world, and the price of fuel is a global issue. She also said centre and the states need to discuss on uniform rationalization of GST. Describing India as a welfare state, she said government takes care of the health and education and supports legitimate wealth creation.
You want a welfare state in India so that the poor are not left unattended. You want a welfare state in India which will immediately, as and when required, immediately address any distress and take care of the poor and the needy. A welfare state, again, which will take care of health and education requirements, because those are things on which government will have to be present and do a lot of work.
She told if avenues of tax are not widened, development or improvement cannot take place. The government needs to be a facilitator with minimal regulation, she added.
The 10th round of Corps Commander level talks between India and China are underway on the Chinese side of the line of actual control in Moldo. The two sides are also likely to discuss disengagement from other friction points after disengagement from both northern and southern banks of Pangong Lake. The disengagement process of troops of the Indian Army and China's People's Liberation Army from the line of actual control was reached after sustained negotiations at the military and diplomatic level. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh last week said India's strategy and approach during disengagement talks with China are based on the guidance from Prime Minister Narendra Modi that India will not allow an inch of its territory to be taken by anyone. In view of the ensuing assembly elections, a total of 125 companies of Central Forces will be deployed in West Bengal by the 25th of February. 12 companies of Central Forces reached Durgapur of West Bardhaman district this morning. 60 companies of CRPF, 25 companies of BSF, 30 companies of SSB, and 5 companies each of CISF and ITBP will send to the state. The forces will lay stress on area domination, especially in sensitive zones. The state police and senior officials of the district administration will be assisting them. The security personnel will send daily reports to the CEO. Elections to 294-member West Bengal Assembly are in April-May.
Today is the Statehood Day of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar have extended greetings to the people of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh became a full-fledged state on February 20th, 1987. Similarly, Mizoram became the 23rd state of India on February the 20th, 1987, with the 53rd Amendment of the Indian Constitution, 1986. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs 6th meeting of Niti Aayog Governing Council, says Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign is a way to build an India that produces not only for its own needs but also for the world. Prime Minister calls for encouraging private sector involvement for Atmanirbhar Bharat, says energy of private sector has to be respected and given equal opportunity. Opening of bank account, increase in health facilities, free electricity and gas connection to empower the poor has made a change in their lives, says Prime Minister. Positive response to the budget has reflected the mood of the nation, says Prime Minister Modi. Finance Minister says Union budget goes beyond $5 trillion economy.
India and China discussed disengagement issue at the 10th round of Corps Commander level talks. 125 companies of Central Forces to be deployed in West Bengal in view of assembly election. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 97.27%, more than 1 crore people vaccinated. 24-hour curfew imposed in 10 villages in Pandharpur in Maharashtra from midnight of Monday to contain COVID. And in Australian Open tennis, Naomi Osaka lifts the women's title, defeating Jennifer Brady. Men's final tomorrow will have Novak Djokovic in action against Daniil Medvedev. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. More than 1 crore 7 lakh beneficiaries have been administered COVID-19 vaccines in the country so far. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry today informed that a total of 5,27,197 beneficiaries have been inoculated with COVID-19 doses in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 97.27%, with total recovery of more than 10,307 patients within 24 hours. The ministry said more than 1,678,000 patients have already been recovered from this disease, and there are 1,43,127 active cases in the country, which comprises only 1.3% of the total positive cases. In an exclusive interview with AIR News, Dr. Roderico H. Ofrin, the WHO representative to India, spoke of India's stellar role in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Ofrin has lauded India's role in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic as a responder for the world by providing all the necessary support to other countries on ending the pandemic.
India is contributing to the world response, which is so commendable, whether it is for PPE equipment provision, essential medicine provision, but also the vaccines. I think that's so commendable that India has come out providing vaccines to neighboring countries, and also together with the information platform in which this may be rolled out is something for being offered for other countries to consider. So from a responder for the country to a responder to the world, India as a not just a pharmacy for the world, but also a responder for the world, providing all that support to our other countries, our neighbors practically first, and then I'm sure it will redound to a larger impact on ending the pandemic.
For listening to the full interview, tune into our Spotlight program on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Anup Burman, Director, Medical Education from Assam, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. One can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
The Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai Chief Iqbal Singh Chahal today said that rise in fresh cases of COVID-19 is due to doubling the tests. Meanwhile, a 24-hour curfew has been imposed in 10 villages of Temple Town, Pandharpur from the midnight of 22nd till the midnight of 23rd February. The decision has been taken in view of the Magh Yatra in Pandharpur. Talking to AIR, Mr. Chahal said that there is no need to worry. He said the situation is under control. As many as 823 new cases of novel coronavirus were recorded yesterday in Mumbai. In Karnataka, Health and Medical Education Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar has informed that a meeting will be held with State Revenue and Home Ministers to ensure that there is high vigil in districts bordering Maharashtra and Kerala where the COVID cases are on the rise. The district deputy commissioners with police and health departments will make a concerted effort to ensure that only those with RT-PCR negative reports are allowed to enter the state. Saying that only 51% of healthcare workers and 31% of frontline warriors are inoculated against COVID virus, he called upon them to come forward and get inoculated against the coronavirus.
In Jharkhand, as per the new unlock guidelines, the state government is instructed to ensure 100% attendance in all government offices. It has also been decided to reopen higher secondary school sections, colleges, training and coaching institutes, skill development centers, parks, cinema halls and sports stadia with 50% capacity from the 1st of March. More from our correspondent.
After achieving a recovery rate of 98.70% in COVID-19 cases detected in the state, Chief Minister Hemant Soren, in consultation with the State Disaster Management and Health Department, has instructed to reopen senior secondary schools, colleges, coaching and training institutes in Jharkhand from March 1st onwards. Meanwhile, all government offices have been directed to ensure 100% attendance in all offices. Cinema halls, community halls and parks in Jharkhand will be operational with 50% capacity. Stadiums and swimming pools will also be reopened only for players as per the new guidelines. State government has also directed to ensure 100% vaccination of health workers before reopening of Anganwadi centers in the state. Shilpi, AIR News, Ranchi.
India and Maldives today signed agreements on a wide range of domains, including fish processing, public broadcasting, sustainable urban development, road infrastructure and housing. The agreements were exchanged after the talks between External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Maldivian counterpart Abdullah Shahid in Mali. Dr. Jaishankar reached Mali today on the first leg of his two-nation visit to Maldives and Mauritius.
In Madhya Pradesh, the week-long 47th Khajuraho Dance Festival began this evening in Khajuraho, which is based on the Indian classical dance tradition. More from our correspondent.
On the first day, along with dance performances, tourists also took part in e-bike tour from West Group of Temples to Eastern Group Temples, village tour of Old Khajuraho and many more. The first day event is dedicated to Bharatnatyam performance by Geeta Chandran and her troupe and Kathak performance by Deepak Maharaj. The festival is being organized by the Culture Department through Ustad Alauddin Khan Music and Arts Academy Bhopal. Director of the Academy, Mr. Rahul Rastogi, has said that this year festival will give the audience a chance to watch the performance of the dancers amid the aura of the temple, as after a gap of 44 years, event is being held once again in the temple complex of the Western Temple Group of Khajuraho. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
In tennis, Japan's Naomi Osaka cemented her place as the outstanding star of the women's singles game by beating American Jennifer Brady in the Australian Open final to win her 4th Grand Slam title. Osaka has remained unbeaten in major finals after today's 6-4, 6-3 win in Melbourne. We have a report.
Osaka edged the first set when Brady, in her first Grand Slam final, paid for some glaring errors in the final game. The third seed seized control from that point, racing 4-0 ahead in the second set before sealing a deserved victory. In the mixed doubles, Barbora Krejcikova of Czech Republic and Rajiv Ram of US clinched the title. They defeated the Australian pair of Samantha Stosur and Matthew Ebden 6-1, 6-4 in the final match later in the day. The men's single final will also be played tomorrow. The title will set up a blockbuster against world number 1 and defending champion Novak Djokovic as Medvedev searching for his Grand Slam title. This is Niharika from News Desk.
In Maharashtra, the security was tightened at senior Bollywood actor Amitabh Bachchan's Mumbai residence today. The move came after the remarks made by Maharashtra Congress chief Nana Patole. Police personnel were deployed outside Bachchan's residence. Patole today continued his attack on Bollywood celebrities Akshay Kumar and Amitabh Bachchan for failing to speak up on burning public issues. Mr. Patole said Kumar and Bachchan aren't real heroes. He added that if they were, they would have stood beside people during their sufferings. The Delhi High Court today ordered all its benches to hold physical hearings on a daily basis from the 15th of March. In a circular, the court said that all its benches will continue to hold hearings as per the existing arrangement till the 12th of March and hold regular physical courts from the 15th of March. According to the circular, the court may, in exceptional cases, permit any of the parties and their counsel to join the proceedings through video conferencing, provided the requisite infrastructure is available. The court has urged advocates, litigants and other visitors to strictly adhere to the norms of social distancing and all other COVID-19 protocols, guidelines and directions issued by the centre, Delhi government and the court.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital city of Delhi is likely to have dense fog in the morning. The temperature will hover between 11 and 28 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be around 20 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 33 degrees. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will vary between 24 and 31 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, there will be fog or mist in the morning and a mainly clear sky later. The city will observe minimum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 30 degrees. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards evening or night. The temperature will hover between 3 and 14 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. The minimum temperature will be around 11 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 23 degrees. Leh will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be around minus 10 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 5 degrees. Gilgit will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between minus 0 and 19 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will witness a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards evening or night. The temperature will hover between 8 and 20 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the minimum temperature will be around 10 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 27 degrees. Chandigarh will have a mainly clear sky later. The temperature is likely to hover between 12 and 25 degrees Celsius. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature will be around 17 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 31 degrees. The city will witness fog or mist in the morning and a partly cloudy sky later. Ahmedabad will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be around 20 degrees Celsius while maximum will be around 34 degrees. Patna is expected to have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will move between 14 and 29 degrees Celsius. And Guwahati will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be around 15 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 30 degrees.
And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs the 6th meeting of Niti Aayog Governing Council. Says Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign is a way to build an India that produces not only for its own needs but also for the world. Prime Minister calls for encouraging private sector involvement for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Says energy of private sector has to be respected and given equal opportunity. Opening of bank accounts, increase in health facilities, free electricity and gas connections to empower the poor have made a change in their lives, says Prime Minister. Positive response to the budget has reflected the mood of the nation, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Finance Minister says Union budget goes beyond $5 trillion economy. India and China discuss disengagement issue at the 10th round of Corps Commander level talks. 125 companies of Central Forces to be deployed in West Bengal in view of assembly elections. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 97.27%, more than 1 crore people vaccinated. 24-hour curfew imposed in 10 villages in Pandharpur in Maharashtra from midnight of Monday to contain COVID. And in Australian Open tennis, Naomi Osaka lifts the women's title, defeating Jennifer Brady. Men's final tomorrow will have Novak Djokovic in action against Daniil Medvedev. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.